Shirley Temple was just 3 years old when she made her first film. Born in 1928, the curly-haired cutie was launched into stardom with the release of the Fox Studios feature film Stand Up and Cheer in 1934. From 1935 to 1938, Temple was the biggest box office draw in the world, filling more seats in theaters than leading man Clark Gable and bona fide superstars like Joan Crawford and Greta Garbo. During this depression, when the spirit of the people is lower than at any other time, it is a splendid thing that for just 15 cents an American can go to a movie and look at the smiling face of a baby and forget his troubles. Temple's first home. Ahead of her breakout performance in Stand Up and Cheer, Temple lived in a Spanish-style Santa Monica bungalow at 948 24th Street that her parents had purchased a year before the future superstar was born. Built in 1926, the 2,000-square-foot home had a 2-car garage, a red-tiled roof crawling with bright bougainvillea, a large backyard by the ocean, and the jungle gym Temple plays on. Her parents feared for their famous daughter's safety pushed the Temples into buying a densely wooded, 4-acre Brentwood property in 1936. The family decided to build their French Normandy-style dream home on the plot, enclosed by a stucco sandstone wall with distant views of the Pacific Ocean. A decorator swathed Shirley's new bedroom entirely in varying shades of blue, ice blue tiles in the bath, deep French blue carpeting, woodwork trim and moldings, sky blue, the 2-inch border on her chintz curtains, gray blue, and even bedspread quilts, hand-embroidered by a 92-year-old fan, depicted little girls in blue poke bonnets. The actress received hundreds of dolls from admirers worldwide. Her parents built a 2-story Tudor-style bungalow a few hundred feet from their main house in Brentwood exclusively for the young star to stash fan gifts and to entertain visiting friends. According to Anne Edwards, author of Shirley Temple, American Princess, the interior of the playhouse looked like a department store display window the week before Christmas. It hosted a theater, a soda fountain room, a kitchen, and a bowling alley. One of Temple's most treasured possessions was the baby grand piano pictured here, gifted to her in 1939 by Theodore G. Steinway of the legendary Steinway piano-making dynasty. The Chippendale-encased instrument featured a sweet message from Steinway himself: "I hope, dear Shirley, that you will like this piano as much as the Steinways like you." And that's a lot. The piano remained in Temple's possession until it was auctioned off by her children the year after her death. Temple's eye for craftsmanship was evident from a young age, and she held on to the decorative items she cherished throughout the many moves of her lifetime. There are pieces in the house that traveled through her life with her: the exquisite pair of cut-glass candlestick lusters gracing her baby grand piano in this 1944 snapshot stayed with the star until her death. The base, body, and holder of each are crafted completely from faceted glass. Temple was an animal lover and owned 3 ponies, Little Carnation, Spunky, and Rowan. The trio resided in the stables of the family's Brentwood estate. Temple also had a Scottish Terrier, a Cocker Spaniel, and a miniature Chinese Pekingese, the latter of which was initially her co-star. The pup played Temple's pet in the 1936 film Stowaway and was named Ching Ching after her character in the flick. Wedding bells ring at the Brentwood estate. After tying the knot at the Wilshire Methodist Church when she was 17 years old, Temple and her new groom, Army sergeant and actor John Agar Jr., headed to the expansive backyard of Temple's Brentwood family dwelling to celebrate the nuptials with 500 guests. The property boasted a 5,000-square-foot main residence, a badminton court, a stable for Temple's ponies, a shallow swimming pool, a mini roller coaster, a merry-go-round, the glass brick playhouse, and Temple's two-story cottage. On the heels of their wedding celebration, the newlyweds posed for a photograph in their marital home, which the teenager decorated with her favorite colors and motifs. She loved fabrics with color and prints. She could look at a fabric and visualize it in a room for a house that hadn't even been completed yet. It was just a gift she had, a real affinity with color. Her preferred patterns featured flowers and large leaves in rich oranges and greens. During the 4 years Temple and Agar were married, her former play cottage served as the couple's marital home, though the structure had to be reconfigured to accommodate the growing family. The theater was transformed into an expansive living room. Temple's prized soda fountain room was converted into the primary suite, the kitchen's footprint grew, and the former bowling alley became their dining room. The child star parted ways with the residence after her split from Agar and sold it to her parents. Temple's second marriage was one she often described as founded upon true love. The former child star tied the knot with blue blood businessman Charles Alden Black in 1950, and the couple remained together until Black's death in 2005. In striking contrast to her first wedding, with its 500 guests and throngs of paparazzi and fans swarming the streets, the Temple Black ceremony was an intimate affair, conducted by a local justice and witnessed by just a dozen friends and family. No public notices, no church, no organ music, no crowds, no police, and no press. Upon her husband's passing, their son Charles Alden Black Jr. reflected, "She married my dad and found a man upon whose love she could count absolutely. He adored her, and she knew it." At the time of this photo in December 1957, Temple and Black had settled into their Atherton, California, home with their children. The town is described as an upper-middle-class suburb of San Francisco in Edwards's 1988 Temple biography. It is currently the wealthiest zip code in America. The family lived in a custom-built redwood ranch, designed in the Japanese modern style sometimes referred to as Pacific style. Temple, who reportedly became a licensed interior decorator in 1954, wove East Asian motifs throughout the home, such as the lamp stand on the end table pictured here behind Black. The home's detached guesthouse was a round, shingle-roofed wooden structure with glass doors that opened up to a raised patio. The floors, carpets, walls, stone fireplace, and ceilings of the Atherton home were a monochromatic beige. Furnishings were upholstered in natural raw silks, with jewel-toned pillows adding pops of color. Lively antique obies, pieces of Polynesian fabric, decorated some of the walls. "I enjoy color psychology," Temple told biographer Edwards. The licensed decorator even styled the homes of friends, but stopped short of taking on any clients that were not somehow linked to her existing social circle due to the interest in her Hollywood ties. "I can't work for strangers," she told Edwards. "They just want to ask me about Elizabeth Taylor."